Welcome to Shore Time. It is Shore Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue, Dave Crossan with you here on Sunday, June 12th. Jersey Shore summer, lots of great weather, Dave. Sunshine, beaches, boardwalks, lots of great events to do, and lots of other things we're doing too during the week and on the weekends and everything. And I'll tell you,
there's just so much to do.
Oh goodness!
And I have to ask you a question before we get going today.
Oh.
The question is, am I being selfish? Are you ready?
I don't think so.
Well, no. I haven't said anything yet. Okay, so, we live here at the shore. We have all these great things going on. Yeah. And, come the weekends, I want to be in the area.
Sure.
Then you get that invitation for that, say, barbecue or picnic or whatever it is.
Okay.
Up north during the summer. And the question is, okay, right, there's the reaction I'm looking for. First of all, great friends, great invitation. Love the idea in the fall. Meaning every weekend counts down here, right? We have all these great things, and my thinking is, hey, I'm here. Come see me. But then you get the invitation of the barbecue up north, North Jersey. Want to see these people.
Sure.
Want to hang out.
Yeah.
But the question is, am I being selfish for maybe saying, hey, I'd like to catch up with you in the fall? I feel a little selfish for even saying that. But being that traffic issues, we're at the shore.
Gas.
That's what I should say. It's the gas prices and I can't come. Your thoughts, Vin?
I don't think that's selfish. I mean, listen, gas prices, those typically go up in the summer, but my goodness, the traffic sometimes on the Parkway or the Turnpike, wherever you're going. Right. I went to... up to Homedale last weekend for a date, but we'll see.
Okay.
But even just coming back from Homedale, to Toms River, I hit some of the traffic because I saw, on the way back, I saw people getting off towards the exit in Long Branch, towards the exit in Asbury Park.
Getting off early just to get off the parkway.
And this was last Saturday. I guess I was on my way back around 12:30ish that Saturday. But even just for the short 40-minute commute from Homedale to Toms River, it felt like it took a little bit longer.
Correct.
But I mean, depending on the time of day and what day you're going, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you could be stuck in traffic. I told you last week how my parents and I went up to my brother's place in Hoboken, Memorial Day Monday. I think we left the house in Toms River like 1 o'clock. We had traffic just getting out of the shore. I don't think it really cleared up until we passed exit 98 in like Wall and whatnot, and then it started to slowly, open up. But to your point, I mean, if somebody's saying come up, it's like,
it's a tough
all right, well, what time? Depending on what you go.
Exactly. And let's say I'm going up. Okay, maybe the traffic won't be an issue going up, but now I have to come back. Okay, so two things. Two issues here. Number one, love being at the shore.
Oh, yeah.
I live down here. I want to enjoy everything I can while I'm here. Number two, to your point, the traffic factor. It's a big issue, especially coming back, depending on the time. So it's like one of these things where it's like, you know what? We have this window of time where the shore is moving and grooving, lots going on.
Yeah.
But on top of that, now we have traffic. And fuel prices, a lot going on there.
Yeah.
So I feel terrible saying, hey, can't make it. And I want to be honest. That's it. I wanted to ask your opinion because I was like, I felt like, I really should.
It's a tough call.
It's a tough call. I would like to see everybody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's just one of those things like coming back and everything I've said.
It's a hike. I mean, I think... Typically, like a lot of people say, the Thursday late afternoon, evening, or even Friday afternoon, evening, people from North Jersey, hey, let's go down to the shore for the weekend. Right. And then all of a sudden, the southbound gets flooded. But then if you're planning to go north, I would say, Saturday night, Sunday, on a Monday, on a holiday or something like that, then you'll see some of the northbound traffic start to build up as well.
Correct.
So typically, but although, I mean, it does happen all weekend. It's not like nobody travels on Saturdays.
It's just tricky. It's tricky, and it's funny.
You got to pick your spots.
And
almost.
If you don't live down here, you may look at us like, Dave can have all the fun at the Jersey Shore that he wants. Why can't he just come up this one weekend? And there's other factors. It's not just me wanting to go to the beach. It's getting up there, the traffic, all of that. So I had to ask you on air. I wanted to put you on the spot. Am I being selfish?
The other thing is sometimes it's like one of those, if you're going up to North Jersey or from here down to South Jersey, you're like, all right, well, maybe you go early in the morning or something like that. And decent traffic.
What if they're having a barbecue at 3 in the afternoon, and I'm like, hey,
spend the day.
10:30. Hey, everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm here
early. Who wants
early.
breakfast?
Exactly.
No, I think it's just if it's it's a commute in the summer. Plan ahead a little bit. Maybe you get there a little bit earlier, or say, you just excuse yourself, leave a little bit earlier.
To make this work,
or later.
There's a lot of moving parts here. Early wake up, early arrival. All right, let's say I get there.
And try to make it work anyway.
Anyway, I get there 3 hours ahead of time. Do I show up at the house? Do I go to the mall? What do? I got to kill time. And then, do I stay later because I want to get
heading down
at a time where there's less traffic? So now I'm showing up really early and I'm leaving late. They're like, all right, we're never going to invite
You're leaving at like
Crossing again.
9 o'clock and 10 o'clock.
I just had to put it out there because it's one of those things. It's like, it's like, how do I handle this? But I appreciate your thoughts on this, Vin, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I love my friends up north, but this time of year, it makes it very challenging. And of course, I always welcome people to come down here because, hey, it's summertime, it's fun, let's enjoy it. But Vin, I'm going to shift gears, okay?
Okay.
I have to brag about you a little bit, just a little bit I am. I understand you did some broadcasting.
I did.
Some baseball. Let's talk about that, please.
So I've done some stuff this year with BFA.
Go for it. I want to hear all about this.
So I've done some stuff this spring with BFA Sports down in South Jersey, called some Atlantic Cape Community College games, some summer league game recently. But last weekend, so the first weekend in June, filled in for Greg Jamborisi with the Jersey Shore Blue Claws.
Okay.
Who was going away for that weekend. He had to go to his brother's wedding, so I filled in with Tony Graham last weekend on MILB TV.
I know Tony Graham, good man.
Jersey Shore Blue Claws baseball. Cool. So we had 4 games in 3 days. They were playing the Brooklyn Cyclones, so got some play-by-play in that weekend. Got to do some interviews during the 3rd inning of each day.
Look at you. I love this. This is fantastic.
Including with David's Dream Believe Cancer Foundation. They were there, one of the interviews in the 3rd inning, so got to see our friend David Caldarella again. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun doing some play-by-play, doing some color with Tony as well. So it was a thrilling weekend to say the least. It was a lot of fun.
Tony does a great job, and the two of you together, well done. That's fantastic. That is, of all the different things that you do, would you say that is what you enjoy the most?
I think so, yeah. Okay. No, I love sports. I love baseball. Love doing play-by-play. And it's just such a thrill, going to the ballpark each day. It was just, I can't describe how much fun it is. It was just pure jubilation, energy.
Okay.
It was really a lot of fun.
And how do you keep your emotions under control? Because I know as a fan, as you see something happen, you're like, oh, here we go, home run, and getting all excited. And do you find yourself having to kind of pull back a little bit, or do you just go with it as a good play happens?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the play, what's going on, just kind of go with the pitch, see what's going on. Obviously, kind of relive throughout the game, give a good analysis about what's going on, what you're seeing. I'm sitting up high from the broadcast booth. You can get a view of everything. And then it's just different plays, calling it as I see it, for both sides.
Okay, this is something I've always been curious about. So here you are in the booth. Do you have a screen in front of you, like to see the game closer up, to see a pitch coming in, to determine what kind of pitch it is? How does that work?
In the booth, it was just we were directly behind home plate, obviously up.
Okay.
But I had a good vision of where the ball was going. I could tell if it was a fastball, breaking ball, a sweeping slider.
Right.
And I had the vantage point where I could see just about where it was going off either the edge of the home plate or, up high, so kind of where they were swinging, how they were swinging, if they were swinging on top of the ball.
This is good to know because I always wondered if you had a monitor with a closer up image of the pitch coming in, but you're actually up high.
Oh, yeah. I prefer, even with the video screen, I prefer just looking out into the field because I feel like I could get a better visual, even though it's obviously right in front, but I like looking out into the game because you can kind of gauge the crowd. You can get just a natural view of things on a baseball field, what's going on.
Well, how much prep work do you have to do? So here you are, you're announcing a game, so the local team, of course, but then it's like, okay, the visitors, how much, you got to make sure that you have the positions, you got it all written down, pronounce their names correctly.
Yeah.
That must take some work.
It does. There was some prep and definitely, working with Tony Graham and Greg Jamborisi and some of the other Blue Cross staff. Even, we were exchanging notes, talking with the Brooklyn Cyclones broadcaster and everything. So lots of game notes, lots of stats to go through. It was all there in front of us throughout the game. It was just, okay, pull it up. Who's pitching? Who's coming in? Who's warming up in the bullpen? Working with the official scorer there, just kind of working on different signs. So it was a lot going on, but it was nothing I felt I couldn't handle. So and then calling play-by-play in the third inning while doing an interview. So
that's interesting. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to invite myself at some point. I'm going to be behind you and Tony Graham. I'd love to just sit there and watch you guys go to work.
It was fun to fill in last weekend. So it was a fun fill-in opportunity and everything. So it was really exciting. So yeah, can't wait to see what's next with baseball.
Do you have a signature call when there's a home run?
I've developed one. I just kind of came out of nowhere just over the years of different things.
What do you got? Let's hear it. I'm putting you on the spot, buddy.
And goodbye.
And there it is. It's gone.
Just simple enough term when it goes over the wall, wherever it is, just kind of describe the pitch, describe how it's hit, and then
your guy
wherever it's going.
Always says, was it see ya, right? For the
Michael
Yankees.
K. Yeah.
And then for the Mets, Gary Cohen, what does he say? Back to the wall. It's out of here. Anyway. Goodbye. I like it.
Every announcer's got their own kind of calls.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the one I've developed. So, it's a lot of fun.
That's very
Love baseball.
Cool. It's so funny because you listen to the different announcers, and their job, I guess, is to make it so easy for somebody like myself listening to the game, really being like, okay, I'm not there, but I can feel the emotion. I understand what's happening. So I give you credit, and I'm happy for you and the opportunity. That's
Thanks,
tremendous.
Dave. Yeah, hey, can't wait to see what's next.
A lot more to do, my man.
Oh, yeah, we got some things to do this morning as well. So
let's hear about it.
See who's next. We've got Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford joining us and Middletown Mayor Tony Perry this morning, talking about summer events, summer fun, summer safety. We've got it from the northern part of Monmouth County to the southern part of Ocean County. We got it going on here on Short Time with Vin and Dave this morning.
Yes.
Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford coming up next. Short Time with Vin and Dave continues on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk.
Hi, this is High Performance Executive Coach Dana Cavalier and former Director of Strength and Conditioning for the New York Yankees. And you're listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. It's always great to hang with champions, and these two guys are champions.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management understands that you are more than your money, and they strive to help you realize your best life as they align your finances with your goals. Best of all, Shoreline's straightforward approach will include you in the process. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information. Shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue, Dave Crossan with you. And joining us here this morning is the police chief of Harvey Cedars down there on Long Beach Island, Robert Burnaford, here to talk about some summer safety at the beach and throughout the borough, pedestrian safety, vehicle safety, and some summertime events as well. So, Chief, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good morning. This is great.
Yeah, hey, always a pleasure to have you on, have you here. Although it's different, sometimes, Dave, I've interviewed Chief with David Caldarella during the month of November. Chief grows a pretty good beard. He's obviously clean shaven now, so nice. It's impressive.
And it doesn't bring out my grays when I shave, so
that's
nice.
See, I have the grays going on here, so it is what it is. I'm going to run with it.
Yeah.
That's
me?
great.
Nah, I usually kind of struggle with it. I think me, and David, we were having a beard kind of contest when we were speaking. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, who really has the best one?
I think David got a head start on that one.
He kind of practices all year long.
He does.
Yeah. So we want to talk about the summer and everything, and from, like I said, from the beaches to the mainland and everything else. Obviously, a place where a lot of people go to during the summer. We talked with Lori Pepinell recently on the show about different things going on along LBI in Southern Ocean County. About a rough estimate, how much more of a population increase do you typically see in Harvey Cedars during the summer months in terms of like foot traffic or vehicle traffic?
Yeah, sure. So you'll be surprised. So in the wintertime in Harvey Cedars, it's a population is about 500 people. Now in the summertime, it swells to about 10 to 12,000.
Wow.
So just to give you that quick reference right there. So and that now, although since COVID, right, people certainly started moving down spending more time on the island and the Jersey Shore in the off season. Right, need to escape their other homes elsewhere.
Absolutely.
So our wintertime population, it's certainly not 10 or 12,000, but it has increased, quite a bit. It's not as desolate as it used to be.
Are you finding some people are saying, hey, you know what? I can work remote, and I'm going to stay down here, enjoy everything that offers.
That's exactly it. I mean, what better place than to LBI to come?
Correct.
And if you have to work from home, it's a great place to do it. So, we welcome it. It's a great thing.
Now, with obviously with the more people, coming to Harvey Cedars during the summer months, it's more vehicle traffic. That's, because it's such a beautiful place to spend your summer too, more pedestrian traffic as well, going to the beach, walking here and there, people riding their bikes. What are some of the safety tips that you want to get out there? I know along Long Beach Boulevard, and correct if there's any other streets as well, the speed limits go down in the summertime. So what is the difference in speed limits for cars?
Yeah, so what you'll find with pedestrian safety and bike safety, obviously when you go from 500 people to 10 or 12,000, the safety increases. So in the wintertime, where you have 45 miles per hour, in most of the zones in Harvey Cedars, and also you have the traffic lights are on blink.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh, okay.
So and then roughly about a month ago, it's an Ocean County road, so the Ocean County Engineer's Office will come and turn the traffic lights on to operate, normally, and then they'll lower the speed limit from 45 to 35. And we have a small business district that goes to 30 miles per hour. So for local people, it takes a little while to get used to, particularly the traffic lights.
Right.
Because when you're used to just driving from one end to the other, it becomes, you just don't think about it.
Is it challenging for people, like let's say it's summertime, people want to get their bikes out, and people who come in the area, that now it's like you have a lot more traffic and bike safety?
It is. So now in Harvey Cedars, it's a county road, it's 2 lanes north, 2 lanes south, and our shoulders are very, very narrow. So in the summertime, particularly in the mornings, right, when everyone's out doing their walking and biking and exercise, it becomes very problematic. So we do spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of communication throughout the year, in the off season and in the summertime, on bike safety, pedestrian safety, and we thankfully have a great partnership with not only local businesses but also the Taxpayers Association in Harvey Cedars and the Joint Taxpayers Associations of Long Beach Island, and the real estate agencies to help us, to get the word out. And we started Memorial Day weekend with a high visibility education and enforcement campaign where we had officers in traffic vests at various intersections. And listen, we're not out there to write tickets. We're out there to keep everybody safe.
Sure.
And so we're big proponents of educating first. We'll go out there, and one law that a lot of bicyclists forget about is they have to follow the rules of the road. Mm-hmm. So
right.
if a bicyclist is going down Long Beach Boulevard and they come up to a red light, they're supposed to stop. And so if they don't stop and they go through the red light, right?
Good point.
Can't do that. It's very dangerous. So we spent a lot of time, in enforcing, educating on that law and many others.
And I think that's a great point. A couple of follow-ups to that as well. I think a lot in a lot of pedestrian crosswalks you see or cars going by, pedestrians think, oh, there's an opening, I'll just walk across, I'll get across, or I'll ride my bike across, thinking that, well, those rules of the road are for vehicles to know when to stop, where to stop, and everything. And they forget that there's pedestrian rules in place as well as people on bicycles to be able to stop as well, to let the cars go by, because the cars have the right of way.
That's a great point. So as a pedestrian, if you're going to cross the road at an intersection, you just some people just kind of walk out, not, forgetting that the vehicle needs to be safe enough, travel a safe speed enough to stop. And in Harvey Cedars, so that's a state law. In Harvey Cedars, when you have 4 lanes of traffic, right, the 2 or 3 of those vehicles might see you and might stop, and you can't assume that 4th lane is going to stop. So, so it's very dangerous. So we always urge people in that situation to walk to the nearest traffic light and to help you cross safely.
Now, if somebody is moving outside of the cross, I mean, most times we figure they get by safely. If they're walking outside of the crosswalk and they happen to get hit, and obviously they're okay, what would be a typical follow-up or a typical situation if an officer happens to encounter that kind of situation? How would that work?
Sure. So, depending on the situation, it's the officer's discretion on whether to issue a summons for failure to cross at a crosswalk. So you kind of take every situation, differently depending on what the what the factors are of that accident. But so hopefully, knock on wood.
Right, of course. Yeah.
We don't have many accidents, but so that's why we spend a lot of time on the education of that law. And again, as I mentioned, it's a state law, right? But now here at the Jersey Shore and on Long Beach Island, is everybody from New Jersey? Of course not.
Right.
You have people
That's a good point,
you have people from Pennsylvania, from New York, from
Right.
Connecticut, from Delaware, or where have you, where the laws may be different. So that's where the partnerships with the local businesses and our real estate agencies, who work with a lot of those people on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis on the rental aspect of things, help us get that word out.
And another note on the pedestrian side of things as well, obviously not a Harvey Cedars or an Ocean County issue specifically, but a statewide issue. Just the amount of pedestrian fatalities has just gone up in the last year alone, in the last couple of years as well. You've hit well on the education, the awareness part of it as well, but what are some of the other challenges or some of the things that you want residents and tourists to know this summer, so that whether they're in the car or a pedestrian themselves, that they're always looking twice, looking out for knowing their surroundings, knowing what to do. In baseball, right? You're in the field to play. You're like, okay, what am I going to do if the ball comes to me? You're driving along Long Beach Boulevard or around Harvey Cedars. What am I going to do if this happens or that happens? What would you like to see? What message would you like to get out to make sure that everybody can have that safe summer and that they're knowing what to do, even if it takes a few extra minutes to get where they're going? And
I think you just hit it right in the head. We want people to get there safely, right? A lot of people who come down, right? 500 of our local residents are here all the time, and 10 or 12,000, that's a lot of visitors. And so we just want them, if it takes you an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right, just get there safely. So a few months ago, my department, like many other departments throughout the county and the state, participated in the distracted driving a campaign, right, where we enforce the distracted driving, whether you're using your cell phone while driving or just not paying attention and not being attentive. So that's really the biggest thing to urge and to stress, whether you're walking, you're biking, you're driving, just to keep your head on a swivel, just be vigilant. Don't assume that the other person knows what you're doing or vice versa. So just to be vigilant, get there safely, take your time, enjoy the day. You're at the beach.
No, exactly. And great point, too, because you were saying how the shoulders are very narrow. You have somebody who is texting or looks down and a bike pulls out. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that could happen there. So that's so important to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is.
And as whether distracted driving or driving while intoxicated, driving under the influence, what are some of the signs that stick out to you and any of your officers, anybody in the department, for like, well, that car doesn't look like they're exactly staying between the lines or driving at the right speed or being cognizant of the surroundings?
And that's exactly it. I mean, you have whether it's a vehicle traveling too slow, right? So it's 35 miles per hour, but you have a vehicle traveling at 20 miles per hour that sticks out. Mm-hmm. If you have a vehicle that's failed to maintain their lane, right? And that's where, again, that's why we ask people to never drive under the influence. I mean, you have Uber and all the share, all the driving apps that you can use. Also on Long Beach Island, we have a shuttle program that all the towns, I believe, partner with.
So how does that work? Like different locations, you can pick up the shuttle.
Yep, and I believe you can go on your phone, whether it's a website or an app, and you can see where the shuttles are, and you
that's such a great idea.
And you stand on the side of the road, and you just hop on it, and it takes you up north, it takes you down south. Again, there's so many means of getting from point A to point B without traveling under the influence that it's really upsetting when you do encounter that.
Chief, obviously it's happened in large municipalities like Long Branch, and there's been whispers of it, coming to Point Pleasant Beach and others. But with the pop-up parties that are starting to trend, I know State Senator Robert Singer represents a portion of Ocean County as well, is working on legislation to work to prevent this. I know other legislators are involved as well. But whether it's a pop-up party rumored through TikTok or any other social media platform, or just a home party or a beach party getting out of control, what is it that you need people to know? What is it that you're looking out for this summer to make sure that things don't get out of control and that people are respectful of either the residents' privacy or other tourists who are staying there?
Sure. So, in Harvey Cedars, Long Beach Island, and the Jersey Shore, we're a family community, right? And we want people to have fun. but you want to do that carefully and be respectful of your neighbors. But what I want people to know is the partnerships that the local law enforcement has with the county law enforcement, whether it's prosecutor's office, sheriff's department, and in the state, that we're monitoring this 24/7. We will be ahead of any, a pop-up event that does come, and if it comes or when it comes, that we will be prepared. So, but it's just, we want people to have fun, do it within the confines, of your home, and if you're too intoxicated, don't leave. Right, but just be mindful of your neighbors and have fun.
Chief, want to get into some more summer safety and advice. Of course, some summer fun and events as well, but Dave and I have to step out for a break. Can you hang with us?
Absolutely, that'd be great. Thank you.
Awesome. More Short Time with Vin and Dave and Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford right after this.
Hey, it's Chris Carlin from Rutgers Football and 98.7 ESPN in New York, and you're listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. These fellas are entertaining.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management understands that you're more than your money, and they strive to help you realize your best life as they align your finances with your goals. Best of all, Shoreline's straightforward approach will include you in the process. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor, committed to helping you weather life's storms. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information today. Shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue, Dave Crossan with you. With us this hour is Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford discussing summertime in Harvey Cedars, summer safety for vehicles, for pedestrians, for everybody coming to and from, for residents, for visitors, for tourists, all alike. And Chief, we touched on a lot. I want to hit on something else because I was thinking of as we were talking about DWI and DUI toward the end of the last segment there. Obviously, be right before the pandemic really hit a couple years ago, there was a yearly event at the Ocean County Mall where former Giant, and I know you're a Giants fan, David Deal was there, that the Ocean County Health Department was having on the effects of drinking and driving. And obviously, the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office has the Kimberly Smith Ames campaign as well. Just talking about the dangers of drinking and driving. I think one thing that people sometimes associate with drinking and driving is that somebody's just severely intoxicated, where they're, blowing the BAC well past the legal limit there. But it's also, depending, I guess, body size, weight, whatever, it could be a little less than that, where it's not necessarily going twice or three times the legal limit, but it's, drinking enough to be able to go over and thinking that, oh, all right, I'm fine, I don't have far to go. If you could just elaborate on what defines that kind of behavior and how just encourage again for people to just find alternate modes of transportation or stay home.
Yeah, of course. So that event, I was actually there as president of the Ocean County Chiefs Association at that time. So that was a nice event with the prosecutor, and it was great to see a Giant player there.
Oh yeah.
But number one, if you ever think that you had too much, then you probably did, right? But like you said, based on your body type, your body size, what you had to eat, what kind of alcohol are you consuming? It doesn't take much to reach that legal limit, right? And again, like we mentioned about the different ride share services that are out there, call a friend, taxi services are still a thing, even though there's Uber and the other stuff. There's, we still have a taxi service on LBI and with the trolley service. So again, if you're ever going to go out and have fun, and a lot of us know if there's going to be a barbecue coming up or a family event that we want to go to, like everything else, you plan for that party, plan for your ride home.
I want to transition over to the beach now with some beach safety, water safety as well. Obviously, I know you've worked closely with Randy Townsend there, the chief lifeguard down in Harvey Cedars, but what is it that you need people to be aware of as we head through the summer, knowing the flags, knowing the water, not being there with lifeguards, and obviously some things that you want to know on the beach? And, we've touched on it. It's certainly a hard story that we heard happened in Toms River recently with the tragedy on the beach, but in terms of digging as well, because I think it's, a tragic story, I think it's important to bring up to remind people of what to do and what not to do on the beach. So what are some of the things you want people to know of as they go to the beach?
Yeah, sure. So, obviously in the summertime, that's our attraction is the beach. That's why, most people do come down to LBI. So you always want to swim near a lifeguard. In Harvey Cedars, the lifeguards are on duty from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And a few years ago, Chief of Beach Operations, Randy Townsend, started an after-hours program where we have a lifeguard or two that patrol the beaches till 8 p.m. Because a lot of people, they like to go swimming when the lifeguards aren't there. But we don't, we don't advise of that because you never know. The ocean conditions are always changing. And every town, every beach patrol has a different set of flag systems, right? But in Harvey Cedars, you have the lifeguard chair. Then on the either side of that, you have yellow flags or red flags. You'll never see a green flag. And the reason because that is because the ocean is never 100% safe. So yellow is always for caution. And of course, if there's a red flag, then you won't be swimming that day anyway. But just always, and if you're unsure of what to go, where to go, come up to the lifeguards, right? I mean, they're there for you, right? And kind of like what we do with community policing, right? Which we'll get into in a little bit. Talk to the lifeguard, get to know them. They're very friendly. They're there to take care of you. So always just check in with the lifeguards. And then unfortunately with the incident a few weeks ago in Toms River, but like you said, it is a stark reminder to never really a no hole is a good hole, right? But if you're going to dig some holes, just don't make them any deeper than your knees, because it's could be like the incident up at Toms River, but also too our officers patrol at night and on quads and UTVs. So, the visibility at night is as such, although we have headlights, sometimes the officers might not see the hole. So it can be dangerous for them too. But always come up, have fun. We have plenty of signage around prior to entering the beach with some of the safety rules and whatnot. But always just check in with your lifeguard.
In terms of community safety, you hit on it as well, but what are some things that residents and visitors could be doing in Harvey Cedars this summer to help out you and your department with community safety, making sure everybody's safe, or any other programs that you and your department have this summer to make sure people are alert and seeing something if they say something and doing whatever to help out Harvey Cedars Police?
Yeah, so thank you. So the one thing that we started this year, we're doing a series of community forums. We did one in April, one in May, and we're doing one next, or now we're in June 22nd. And every month we have a different purpose, a different segment, a different focus. Okay. So we urge the community to come in, to meet the officer and see what we do. And in that point, we share our message of, so actually June 22nd is our traffic safety officer, Ben Rosinski, and he's going to be giving a lot of great pointers of bike safety, pedestrian safety. And we have various handouts, whether it's literature, or we also have reflective wristbands, armbands that we'll give out to the public. So again, they can, we can give the word to them and they can help spread it, from there to others.
And again, with the event coming up June 22nd, where and when and how do people need to sign up, or do they just show up?
Yep, so they can just show up. All the information is on our website, hcpolice.org, but it's June 22nd, 5 p.m. at our Borough Hall in Harvey Cedars. Excellent.
And Chief, throughout the summer as well, obviously a lot of fun stuff to do, a lot of beautiful sights in Harvey Cedars and everything. But in terms of summertime events, either with Harvey Cedars Police or with the Harvey Cedars Police Foundation or anything else going on in the borough, what are some of the other things that people can look forward to or look out for and take part in this summer?
Yeah, sure. Well, I appreciate you mentioning the Harvey Cedars Police Foundation. I know the listeners at home can't see it, but Vin is representing the...
I am indeed.
Well done.
With a great T-shirt. So we appreciate that. But every summer, the Activities Committee in Harvey Cedars does a series of concerts every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. in Sunset Park.
Nice.
We'll typically get about 1,000 to 1,500 people.
Turnout.
So it's great turnout. Well attended. The bands are fantastic. It's a free event. That are sponsored by, like I said, by the Activities Committee, which is fully donation funded. Nice. And we always set up, we have a table there, community policing table there every Wednesday night. Number one, people know where we are if they need something. And number two, again, we just want to be out in the public.
Sure.
We want to get to know everybody and get to see everybody again that we haven't seen since the previous year. So we always urge people to come to that. And also National Night Out, which many police departments participate in. So this year we decided with the other chiefs on Long Beach Island, instead of each town doing its own separate thing, we're all going to kind of band together and do a big national night out. Long Beach Township drew the shortest straw. No, I'm just kidding. They volunteered to take the first one this year, and they do a great job with it, with fireworks and a bunch of stuff. So that'll be really great. That's in August. We have craft shows, art shows.
Oh, wow.
The High Point Volunteer Fire Company in Harvey Cedars, which I'm the vice president of this year. They're doing a block party.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
So that'll be great. And so we're, just a lot of good stuff going on.
Nice. And just one more quick note on the foundation. Where can people go and learn more about the Harvey Cedars Police Foundation and what it is, what you do, and any events coming up, and of course, showing support?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website, acpolice.org, you can find a link there to our foundation where you can purchase different T-shirts and sweatshirts and whatnot. But typically in the off season, so last year was the first year that we did did gifts for underprivileged children during Christmas time, and I'll tell you that was just fantastic. The overwhelming response that we got from people not even in Harvey Cedars.
That's great.
So via social media, we enjoy social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter a lot to try to get the word out and connect with everybody. So it was just fantastic to be able to do that for people. So just visit the website, visit our social media, and when we do something, we'll put it out
updates.
there.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Hey, I mean, the shirt is obviously comfortable, but yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great.
It's not the first time I've seen you wear that shirt. There, see,
yeah, that,
giving the support, like it.
Hey, any police department that's got T-shirts with the foundation, I'm definitely happy to support. Like Harvey Cedars, it's got a nice. It's got the shield on the left part of the shirt on the left chest area, so it's got the Harvey Cedars Police Foundation on it. It's got a nice shield. I think it looks pretty cool.
Absolutely,
it does, buddy.
That's great.
Chief, I want to ask you just one more beach-related water note, because some of the federal forecasters have predicted somewhat of an active hurricane season, and who knows at this point if or any will even come up this way or what remnants we'll be facing. But either at the beach or in the water or just throughout the town, what is it you think people should be preparing for just in case that there's a nasty storm that comes through Harvey Cedars?
Sure. So, I mean, the biggest thing is you always want to prepare, right? Because, it's not when are we going to get a storm or if. It's, it could be today, tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's going to happen.
Right.
And hopefully it doesn't happen for a long time.
Sure.
Right.
But you want to be ready. So, in the event of a storm, say it was happening the next few days, you want to secure all your outside belongings, right? You want to make sure that the basketball hoops are in, the trash cans are in, your outdoor furniture, everything is secured. If you live in a low-lying area where it tends to flood more frequently, you might want to move your vehicle to a higher ground. And then if unfortunately we do come into, let's just say, another Superstorm Sandy event where we have start talking about evacuations and stuff, the one thing that I will say is that will all be you will have plenty of time, plenty of notice to be able to plan accordingly. But it's always good whether any kind of event, whether it's a storm or what have you, is to have that plan to make sure everyone in your household knows what the plan is.
And Chief, as we start wrapping up here, not rounding up, although it sounds like an Old West happening in Harvey Cedars. Roundup.
That's it.
We've talked about some of the events, obviously the beach and everything, but what are some of the great things about Harvey Cedars in the summertime? Obviously, you mentioned National Night Out and Sunset Park and everything. What do you think, just from being chief there and being a member of the community, what makes summertime in Harvey Cedars great, unique, special?
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, we're so fortunate in Harvey Cedars that the support that the police department gets from the residents, from the visitors is fantastic. I hear so many compliments of how the different officers are performing, and I always tell them that because they tell me how great everything is, but it's not me. It's the officers out on the road that are having those interactions with everybody.
Great.
So it's fantastic. And we also do in the summertime, we'll do coffee with the cop or pizza with the police. And again, we'll advertise that on our websites. Again, we just love being out in the community. So it's just really something that we work hard on and we see the importance of it and we just enjoy it.
Awesome. Chief, thanks for coming in and talking
really
about the
appreciate
summer and everything. And thanks for putting on nice quality shirts on the website.
Some
everything.
great events.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody's so excited for this summer.
Yeah.
We've been dealing with the pandemic the last couple of years, and I think everybody's just like ready to get back to what feels normal. And having events like this, the free events, that's great to get people out in the community and how everybody's interacting. That's tremendous.
Yeah, and we are equally as excited. So we're really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Chief, you're welcome on here. In here every time, anytime.
Yeah, any updates?
It's always happy to get the word out for you.
Excellent. That's great. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Summer Safety Foundation, whatever. So thanks again for coming in.
No, thank you guys.
That is Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford. More Short Time with Vin and Dave coming up next.
Hi, this is Southside Johnny from the Asbury Jukes, and you are listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. And I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management provides clarity through the complexity with offices in Manchester and Manahawkin. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information and start your financial journey with comfort and security today. Shorelinewealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Welcome back to Short Time with Vin and Dave. Vin Avenue, Dave Crossan with you. And it was a pleasure, as always, to have Harvey Cedars Police Chief Robert Burnaford in here. It's always great to talk to him about different things going on. They're either during No Shave November, during the month of November when the Harvey Cedars Police Department helps support David Stream Believe Cancer Foundation, and throughout the year as well. Does such a great job. Obviously, he mentioned the president of the Chiefs of Police Association in Ocean County. That's a job that rotates from chief to chief every year in Ocean County. He was the president a couple years ago. This year it's Lacey Police Chief Michael DeBella. But yeah, lots of things going on in Harvey Cedars. Obviously, he mentioned the jump in population as well. Typically, you're around 500 to about 12,000, give or take.
Significant.
So more cars on the road, more people, more
it's
bikes.
Summertime. People want to be out on their bikes. He mentioned the road being narrow, where the main road, people coming in, bikes could come out. And think of it this way: the big concern with the safety aspect is this thing in my hand, the cell phone. People texting, thinking, look down, and no, you can't do it because things are so narrow. There's so much activity. You shouldn't do it at any time. But let's focus in on this community here. You got to be careful, be aware, because people are out, they're doing their thing, and you just got to enjoy, have fun, but take the extra step and do the right thing by not being distracted.
Yeah, that's the thing. Certainly the cell phones or iPods, MP3s, whatever, are part of it. Or talking on the phone. It's obviously not a Harvey Cedars thing, but just throughout. I mean, especially in today's day and age, whether you have a Bluetooth speaker or not, or just the amount of people I could see sometimes driving where they're literally holding their phone up to their ear, like you would, walking around your office or your house.
Correct.
While they're driving. I'm like, really?
Shifting gears, getting into like the whole summer, all the plans and everything, events, I should say, it's going to be tremendous. I love the free events. I love the concerts. People are so excited for the summer, and things are planned for. The different events, there are different things that are going on, enjoying the beach, being safe, of course. People are ready, and so are they.
Yeah, listen, it's important to be smart. I mean, I think even if you talk to professional swimmers or whatever, they'll tell you that, or surfers, water could be very rough, and the optics are kind of off sometimes, right? You go out there, you think it's a nice sunny day, but sometimes if it's especially the day after like a rainstorm or something like that, the water could be a little choppy. So just listen. It's okay to ask for help or ask for advice. You don't have to act like, I know the beach. Ask the lifeguards, because the flags are different each day.
Police officers, they are out there to help and protect, but also you can go up to them and just have a conversation and bring up something you have a question on.
Right, yeah. The flags every day are different. Obviously, different things going on in the water, and there's a reason that any beach, Harvey Cedars or otherwise, that they're will let you go out so far, because after that it gets a little choppy. They don't want you to get hurt, no matter how big you are or how tall you are or how well you know how to swim. You could say you broke the school record for some swimming record or whatever, but that doesn't mean it's safe for anybody. So just pay attention. If there's no lifeguards there, don't go out and do something that like swimming in unguarded waters. Sit on the beach.
The good thing
you can still enjoy the view.
It looks like they're very prepared, and it's going to be a good summer. So go and enjoy. Go on the different social media, on the website for all the different events that are happening this summer.
And you know what else too? I think he mentioned something great too. A lot of the LBI towns are all very close and everything. So National Night Out, which is coming up in August 2nd, I believe, Harvey Cedars Police joining up with the other police departments along LBI to put together a nice big event. I think he said some fireworks and everything. So it's a great opportunity to be able to meet the police officers and the different police chiefs
I like that a lot.
in your town. And especially if all the LBI towns are collaborating on that, you get to meet all the different police officers and have some fun and get to know them, have a few laughs.
Makes sense.
So lots going on at Harvey Cedars. Obviously big things with the beach, but important to remember safety. Whether you're riding around in a car, riding on a bike, or crossing the street, be mindful of your surroundings. Look out for other people. Whether you're in the car crossing, make sure you cross in the crosswalk and don't try to do any daredevil kind of business there walking across, because it's not just about you, it's about everybody else around you as well. You don't want to cause an accident either because somebody had to stop short to not hit you.
If everybody does their part, we're going to have a great summer.
Yeah, Harvey Cedars is a beautiful place to spend your summer as well. So more Short Time with Vin and Dave coming up next as Dave provides his financial wake-up call. More Short Time with Vin and Dave on the way. 94.3 The Point, 105.7 The Hawk.
Hi, this is Christy Pierce-Rampone, former U.S. women's soccer team captain, Olympic gold medalist, World Cup champion, and Point Borough High School alum. And you're listening to Short Time with Vin and Dave on 94.3 The Point and 105.7 The Hawk. Tune in for some real conversation with Dave and Vin. You don't want to miss this.